Hey everyone, this is Martin, and I'm continuing the series of creating sustainable income. And before I get started, if you could hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, that way you'll know when new videos come out. And I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to get you to sign up for anything, so don't get all uptight about that. And the other thing I want to kind of cover before we get started here is that we've had over the last few weeks a lot of people come in and subscribe brand new to the channel, and most of them have come in through a different subject that we've been talking about. And so for those of you, if you're just getting this, if you came in under the Homestead 65-year-old thing, then you're going to maybe wonder what this is all about. And we started this series to help answer the question of how do you get started financially, how do you get started, and how do you keep the whole thing going? Because that's a major concern with a lot of people that are trying to start a lifestyle like this, is just, you know, financially how to get it going and how to keep it, how to get it started and how to keep it going. So so to kind of broadly summarize this series, it's about not necessarily finding ways to just make income, but trying to find ways of creating sustainable income that is going to come in whether you're working or not, is kind of like the way I like to describe it. And there's two principles that you really have to try to nail down in order to be able to start creating that kind of income. And we've got these locusts coming out right now, and they're everywhere. So I may be competing, if you can hear them in the background. I mean, they're just everywhere. One of them ran into me a minute ago. So anyway, if you're trying to get that started, the two principles that I like to try to get people to understand most is you have to not just find ways where you're exchanging your time for money, because you really only have a finite amount of time in your life to dedicate to earning money. And if you consume all of that, you're done. You can't just go create more, because you can't create more time for yourself. So you have to find ways to get income started that doesn't necessarily require you to consume all of your time doing it. So I shoot for, the two principles I shoot for is find things that can put money in your pocket, whether you're working or not, or whether you're sleeping or not, or whether you're on vacation or not, or whether you want to do nothing or not. And you may think, how is that even possible? But there's lots of them out there. And we're going to go back in and recap and cover a few of them today. And the other principle is that finding those things is one thing, but because you don't have to spend all your time on them, you can layer one on top of the other on top of the other, and you can build up multiple sources of income. And that's the other principle that has to be kind of grabbed onto when you start looking at creating sustainable income in your life. And we know we have experience with doing this. My wife and I do. About 10-12 years ago, we bought our first recreational property. We kind of did it by accident. We were actually just trying to buy some cabins that our family could use, and we ended up running them as a resort after we found some and got some. That's another story. But when we started realizing there was some income that could be attached to those things, we started running it like intentionally as a cabin rental company. And then we bought another place and more cabins, and it just kind of blossomed up. And the reason we were able to do that was because those represented things that we were able to pull income off of that didn't require us to be there 8 hours a day. So that's where we started learning that. And then as we got deeper into it, we were finding, you know, one of our goals every year was find 2 other methods of income that we could add to that whole business venture every single year that would help boost the income up more. And over the course of several years, we added probably 15 or 20 sources of income to that one base business that very little of it took very much of our time. And so that's what we've been trying to teach on. And so if that's intriguing to you, or something that you can set your sights on, get your radar on that thing and say, yes, that's what the kind of thing that I need to try to develop in my life or my business or my homestead or my off-grid property, to start creating some kind of passive multiple sources of income, then that's what this whole series has been about. And we've covered a lot of different ones. We've covered about 50% principles of what it takes to build that kind of income. We've covered about 50% actual methods or activities that you can take, like income earning activities that you can do that will help do that. Now, I post these, I mean, obviously they're on YouTube, but I also post them occasionally onto Facebook and other social media, and I get comments fairly regular about people that say, well, I can't do those things, so I guess I'm not in the right location, or I don't have the right equipment, or I don't have the money to invest in getting started, or whatever. So, I mean, there's a lot of excuses, a lot of reasons why people feel like they can't do that. And I'm just going to try to encourage you that in those methods, there's several of them that really cost you nothing. I mean, if you have a computer, which, I mean, you can't even be watching this video if you don't have a computer or a phone or something like that. And if you're doing that, I mean, there's a couple of them that's all it takes. So what I'm going to do today is encourage you to find something and get started. I mean, it doesn't have to be the perfect thing. If it produces a small amount of income, file that away as one source of income, and then find another one that works for you, and then find another one that works for you. And if you're one of the ones that says, well, I just don't know where to start, I'm afraid that I'm going to invest into something, like, for example, I have not covered this one yet, but I plan to, maybe next week or the following week. One of the things that probably provides the most amount of income for us is nightly cabin rentals and treehouse rentals. And it kind of fits in with our primitive campsite rentals, which I have already covered, and which is a good, if you want to get in kind of the nightly rental business, that's a good place to start. But when I'm talking the cabin rentals, I mean, that requires an investment of either money to purchase them or money to build them, one or the other. We've done both. We've purchased some and put them right into service, and we've built some and put them into service. And that does require a big investment, and that is a risk if you are not prepared to understand how that whole business model works. It can be a risk. I mean, you can risk your capital, your assets, by doing that. And so, and I understand that if you're just starting to get started with this, that would make you nervous, okay? But there's so many of them that won't cost you virtually anything to get started. And one of them is the Amazon affiliate link program that I did in one of the videos here. Just look it up. Go to the series, go to the playlist, find the Amazon affiliate links, and you'll find out what that's all about, because that doesn't cost you anything. If you've got a computer and you've got internet access, that's all it costs you to get involved in the Amazon affiliate program. And you don't make a lot of money. I mean, money that you earn is a lot of times sort of comparable to the amount of effort and investment you put into it. And the Amazon affiliate links, while it can create a lot of money, it's going to come down to how much effort and energy are you going to put in it, not how much money are you going to put into it. So go find that one. If you can't think of anything else to try that one, because it takes about a half a day for a learning curve on how the whole thing works, and get signed up for it. Doesn't cost you anything to get signed up, and get started. You can be started on that literally the first day, and you can potentially make money the next day. Okay, so look up the Amazon affiliate one. If you're afraid to try anything else, go look at that one. Another thing that you might want to look into is if you have the ability to speak to a crowd and do it in an online setting, okay, go look at the Airbnb online experiences. And because that one really doesn't necessarily need to cost you anything. You might have to get accustomed, you might have to go through the learning curve of how to do, like Zoom type meetings where you're interacting with people online in a setting where there's a group that's there. But that one, again, does not take, it'll take a learning curve. It will take some effort and energy to get it started. It will take some creativity is in the way of getting a good idea or being able to display an interesting subject. Okay, but go to that video, find that one. It's called the Airbnb online experiences. Again, doesn't really cost you, doesn't need to cost you anything if you've already got the computer and the ability to do, possibly a camera to do interaction, like live interaction online with people. And if you don't understand what that is, that's not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is to get you to try something, to get started. At some point, you've got to find a place to get started. And I'm not talking about I want to go to start doing farmers markets, because that represents income, but it also represents you spending your time to go be there all day. And this is something that this series of videos is trying to get you to understand, that the only way you're going to be able to stack up and build sources of income, one on top of the other, that you don't have to be there all the time for, is to find sources of income that don't require you to be there, that enable you to earn money in your sleep, if that's what that means. Okay, and even the like the Airbnb online experiences, you have to be there, but you're multiplying your time and your energy, because you can set up yourself to do a 1 hour or a 2 hour interactive activity with the group of people that sign into that. And if you charge $20 per session, and you have 10 people there, that's, you spent 2 hours to earn a $200 fee, basically. And so, and if it's more than that, then it's more than that. And so I'm trying to get you to tell yourself, I can do something. And even if I can't, even if I don't have the money to invest or spend into some new experience or new kind of a thing to earn income, there's a couple of them out there that you really don't have to spend any money to get involved in. And then if you want to start building a product line, go find something that's of interest to you, and that will be of interest to people within your circle of contacts, I guess, in your Facebook world, for example, and go search out a way to find a way to buy some of those products at wholesale, and just turn around and start selling them as a retail item. Build an online store. My daughter has started a website that's basically nothing but online products that people can buy through her website, and she used a free website to do it. And so there's a lot of things to do. Go through the series, find some of those things that you can do that match the amount of investment that you want to put into it, both of money and of time, and just find some of those and get started. I mean, that's really what it's going to come down to, is try something. Go do something. Find a way to get a start, because here's the magic of this, okay? In our first business, we decided that we were going to commit 20 years to building a business that, if it was something that could create enough income for us to be able to sustain us without having to go back out and work anymore. And really what we went into is we went into something that within 5 years was supporting us completely. And within about 10 years, really it was creating something we could almost retire on if we wanted to do that. And so you need to start thinking in a little bit longer term than maybe I'm going to try something, and if it's not working in 3 months, well, I'm going to throw in the towel on it and give up. You're really going to have to find some things that you can commit to. And I ran across a very interesting principle a few years ago, and it was most people overestimate what they can accomplish in 1 year, and meaning that I can do anything and I can do it in 1 year, and I'm going to conquer the world in 1 year, and that's overestimating our abilities, okay? And because 1 year really isn't enough time to get anything established. But most people also underestimate what they can accomplish in 5 years if they just put their mind to it and commit to it, okay? And a week or two ago, I talked about, make every day count. And so you've got to be able to commit to something. The value of a plan is, can you carry it out for 5 years before you just throw in the towel on it and say, no, this isn't working? And can you commit your energy and efforts to it so that you do guarantee yourself or the best chance of success that you possibly can on it? So what I encourage you to do today is go back through the playlist of creating sustainable income, find 1 or 2 or 3 of those suggestions that are in there and start trying them. And I would honestly, if you don't think you can do anything else, go to the Amazon affiliate link program and look into that one, because it won't turn a lot of money because there's not a lot of investment in it. You can really literally get it set up in a day, and you can leave it alone. It's better if you're able to promote it a little bit, but you can just leave it alone if you have to. And then also look at that Airbnb online experiences. Not everybody's cut out for that. I understand that. If you're not one of those ones that's cut out, just forget that one. But go find something and get started with it. And 3 months from now, you should be able to start earning some kind of income on something that you've started that doesn't require all of your time and all of your energy, that is a passive source of income that you can stack on top with other types of income to give you multiple sources of income. So I hope this is helpful. I hope you're not frustrated by the length of it, or I hope you're not feeling like, well, I've heard all this before. The main point of this video is to encourage you to step up and actually choose something and start doing it. Something different, something that's outside your wheelhouse, something that is something like you've never done before, to try to establish a source of income that you don't have to work night and day to get. All right, that will be the magic to it. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of it, and if you could, hit the subscribe button and notification bell, and we'll see you next time. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like and a share, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell. See you next time.